My name is Vanessa. How is it going? Alright, so it's 6:30 right now. I'm gonna go grab my water. Yeah, nobody's there. Trying to drink water. Okay, I know nobody's there, but I'm just talking to myself. It is evening. My back patio is nice and shady, but the weather is... We have extreme heat warning. So, I can't see myself sitting outside for a while. All right. Hello, who is there? Welcome, welcome. I wonder if I should close the curtain. Nah. Good evening. Somebody put a like. Thank you. Nobody's commented yet, but thanks for the like. My hair needs to get washed. Hello, anyone there? Oh, wrong one. No, that. I'm doing this old school. Oh, there you all are. Hello, Amberis. Hello, Zell. Hey, Ava. Hello, Blink. Marion. Rochet. Hello, hello. What is everyone doing? I don't think I've ever seen any single one of you on my live stream before. It's always interesting to see who's going to come. Zell is chillin'. Anybody have one of these like sequence things? These are cool. All right. I guess you can say I'm chilling too. You guys are my distraction, so I don't snack. I don't eat because I already had dinner. Zell, what other channels do you go to? I'm trying to figure out this top fans. Okay, Creek Craft. That sounds interesting. Yeah, I'm thinking when your super fan comes up as one, you have a lot of interaction, but with other. Not necessarily on my channel, but overall. Which I think I finally am figuring that out. Graham, how's it going? Hey, Gun Show. How is your... Well, for Graham, he's in a totally different time zone. So how's your day? Gun Show, how did your day go? Because you're probably ahead of my time. My day was good. Chipotle is 35 years old. And what? I'm going to guess you're a male from Gotham City. I do like watching the Gotham City. But that was like an old show, right? Graham says, yeah, I'm good, thank you. Doing a lot of thinking about purchasing a new tent. Graham, really? Don't you already have two? Okay, so Gun Show is 2 hours ahead. And it is nighttime for Zell. Gun had a busy... I think I'm just going to call you Show. Show had a busy work day. Zell is in Houston. Hey, Lady Sky, how are you? I do get quite a few people in from Texas onto my live stream. Later, Zell. Thanks for hanging out. You know what I do, Graham? I do a lot of thinking about buying stuff all the time. But do I actually buy it? No. I will spend hours researching things, and I'm talking about maybe a purse that I have not bought, perfume that I have not bought, makeup, skincare. I'm not really researching clothes because, y'all, I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm not going to invest in money. I'm not going to put my money into clothes right now. Oh, Graham needs to upgrade his tents. Sometimes I research cars, even though I know I'm not in a place to be getting a different car right now. Anybody else research things that you want to buy and just don't buy them? It's just to pass the time. Lady Sky, do you drive? Olivia Rodriguez or Rodrigo. Yes, I remember you. Lady likes to research recipes. I should have guessed that. I don't know how to drive a car. You've never driven, Lady Sky. You never had a driver's license. Well, I only know one person who is actually probably like 1 year older than me, and she doesn't have a license. She's never driven. But everybody else that I know, I think they drive. So, Lady Sky, I'm going to guess you just never wanted to learn how to drive either. Sad life for you, lady. Oh. Well, life is going to be what you make of it, lady. What each of us makes of it. I was eager to learn. I remember my parents showed me how to drive. They taught me. I couldn't wait till I turned the correct age to go get my driver's permit. Then I couldn't wait right when I turned 16 to go get my license. Okay, Graham says he's been thinking about getting one of those electric scooters as well. Yes, Graham. Lady says, I've always wanted to learn, but no one in my family would teach me how to drive a car. You know what, lady? You live in a fairly big city. I wonder if there's any places to teach you. It's never too late. What is Clash saying? Goody, goody morning. Graham says, I'm doing well. Made just over 3K yesterday. Wow, Graham. That is awesome. I mean, that sounds like a lot of money here. Is that a lot of money where you're at? Lady says, yes, there's plenty of places here. Oh, good. So maybe one day, Lady Sky. Okay, Lady Sky, there is this lady that works at my Walgreens. And what is her name? Her name is Judy. She's been there for many years. And every time I go in there now, ever since I met you, I think about you because you guys look very similar. You both have short hair. Does she wear glasses? Do you wear glasses, lady? Graham says about $4,500. Wow. Are you good at saving your money, Graham? I think you are, but I'm just going to ask anyways. Okay, so only one person has answered the question. Okay, you wear glasses too. Graham says, and the tax man isn't touching any of it. Well, the tax man is not touching my DoorDash money or my YouTube money because it's not enough to report. I mean, things could change between now and the end of the year, but it doesn't seem like it will be. And I did take tax classes, so I know I will be in the right, what do you call it? It's legit. Grandma's pretty good with money. Mo Breeze, what's up? What's up? Grandma says not a wasteful person. And Lady says, I got a twin. Yes. I don't, do you like to talk, Lady Sky? Like when you are out and about, do you like to have conversations? Because the lady that works at Walgreens, oh, she would tell me a whole story when I'm there. And I usually go when I have plenty of time, so I hang out and chat with her. Mowbray says, eating his steak tacos. Nice. You guys, I'm trying to lose weight, and I'm trying to be serious about it. So, I'm probably going to be on here more often. Well, in the evening time, because that's when I am more triggered to eat, is in the evening. And so if I'm on here, I won't be eating. I won't be snacking or eating. Mowbray says a water diet. The only thing I'll be doing is drinking my water. But yeah, I already got my steps in for the day. I ate um, my meals already. They were healthy, no processed foods. I did some workouts, more than one today, and now I'm here. Graham says, should have pulled my finger out and focused sooner. Then I would have been in a much better position now. Oh well. Yep, we live and we learn, Graham. That's right. Yep, walking is, I have a goal, a step goal. I was thinking about getting one of those watches, a smartwatch of any kind, to track all of my steps, but I only basically track the steps of when I'm holding my phone. So I'm pretty sure I walk more than I actually track. Yep, one day at a time, exactly. Dinesh is here with the emojis. Lady says, I walk to the kitchen to get food. Lady, you should, like, while you watch TV or even right now, walk in place. It will all add up. It all counts. Sometimes I do that when I'm watching TV. I get up and just walk back and forth in my living area. Mowbray says he has one. Oh, you do? I was trying to borrow my son's smartwatch because he never wears it. But he wouldn't let me. He's like, nope. Graham says, I'm focused on earning as much as I can as I only see things getting tougher here in the future. Good. I'm glad you are preparing. Yes, preparing. Graham says, plus I have a pretty lady to impress. Yes. Well, not necessarily impress, Graham, but to show her you are dependable, you are reliable, you can be a provider. No, I didn't buy the smartwatch. His dad did. Dinesh, you gonna buy me a smartwatch? Cause that's kind of that's kind of what it looks like. I don't. What is the emoji that he put on there? They're cheap on Amazon. All right, Graham says yes. He's not going to. He said, "Don't worry about that." But the thing of it is, when it's hot, I don't want to wear. I don't even wear my bracelets. The only thing I wear in the summertime are definitely my earrings. Sometimes a few pieces of jewelry, but it's very rare in the summertime. It's just too hot. So I can't even imagine having the wrist thingy. But after I lose weight, I'm thinking I will feel more comfortable wearing jewelry all year long. Oh goodness, I laugh at myself, y'all. If the authorities look in my garage, I'm screwed. Oh my goodness, Graham. The fifth local, you're back. Yep, I remember you from the Texas hood. Mo Bree says, no worries, you got this. And Matt is here. Hey, darling, I've missed you. How have you been? I've been great. I've been good. Today I had a productive day. I picked up my great nephew from the school bus stop, the bus stop. And while I waited, I walked back and forth in the hot sun. It was okay. I don't know if this was the right reading, but it was 120 degrees. So I was walking around back and forth waiting for his bus to pull up. Then we went to go and pay one of my bills. Then we went to the library. Then we went to Walmart for me to pick up my grocery pickup. We came home. I made dinner and yeah. That that's what I did today. Tomorrow I'm going to have more things to do. Ray, hello. Are you the Ray that was here yesterday? I'm going to say you're not because you have a different color of R. Mowbray said, Amen. Graham says, you don't get far playing by the rules here anymore. Got to do what I've got to do. And Ray says, he dislikes rules. This is the same Ray? Okay. The fifth local just got my EBT and food stamps today. Wait a minute. Doesn't that come on the 1st? Y'all, I don't know because I don't get that stuff. But I always hear people talking about the 1st of the month. Ray says he has 4 different accounts. He gets banned. Why do you get banned, Ray? I don't know what that. How would you get banned? I did why am I yawning? I did do my grocery order earlier today. My fifth loco says my cousin was holding out on me, so I had to beat him up. You know what? I want to see what a few things. Well, it's not fun if you're gonna get banned. I don't think that's fun. You know what? To each their own. Oh, I see your picture up close now, fifth loco. Okay, Ray. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Mowbray says, are you disrespectful? Graham says, Ray, I troll Muppets sometimes as well. Is what it is. Oh, goodness. I don't know. I wouldn't do that in real life. So I guess I don't see the point in doing that on a live stream. Ray, that's probably why you can't find your attractive woman. Maybe you go too far. Fifth local just found out his cousin is pregnant. So that means more food stamps, right? And more cash assistance or whatever. Okay, Graham says, I say what I think online and in real life. Yeah, I'm the same here and in real life. Actually, here I'm a little bit silly, and in real life, I'm not as silly. But it's not, I don't know, not too different. Okay, what is Ray saying? Attractive women will ask if he has a job. Everybody is standing on business now, Ray. Almost 2026. Ray, do you mean to say you don't have a job? Well, of course, a woman, I think a good woman wants a man who has a job. So that's a very normal question to ask. Mo Breeze, you wish you had EBT. ABCEBT. Graham says, I don't have a job on paper though, still doing well. And the fifth local says, who has a job nowadays? I do. Mowbray says food is high now. And Ray says, I live in the most expensive state called New York City. Why do you stay there, Ray? I'm just curious. If you know it's the most expensive place, why do you stay there? Ray says, I was born and raised here. And Mowbray says, I just paid $23 on a pack of steak. Okay, so whenever I do my grocery shopping, I always buy the meat that is on sale that week. So if I want a steak, but it's not on sale, it's going to have to stay on hold until when the steak does come on sale. Hey, Matt Turner. Ray says, I don't eat steak. And Fifth Loco says, it's 2025 and I'm living off EBT and food stamps, living at my cousin girlfriend's crib, playing PlayStation 2 all day. You're probably a Democrat, Fifth Loco, because I don't believe in people living off of the government myself. Matt Turner says, did you hear of the interstellar object Atlas? They think it's an alien ship. No. Mowbray says, is my first time eating red meat in 2 months. I have eaten nothing but chicken and fish. Really? Okay, how did it go for you just eating chicken and fish, Mowbray? Like, did you see a difference? Graham says, how do people survive without a bit of hustling? We gotta do what we gotta do. I don't consider living off the government hustling, and I don't know if that's what you think either, Graham, but yeah, if you need 2 jobs, get 2 jobs. Don't live off of the government. Ray says, I am calling ICE. And Matt Turner says, what if aliens came here and your idea of God is completely washed? I'm still following Jesus Christ. Matt. The fifth local says, I have no political opinion. The hood plays by its own rules. And Mowbray says, different dishes to make. So you learned different recipes or whatever. I'm okay, so I keep forgetting to put it on my list, but I do like to get fish every now and then and have at least once a week try to have a meal with fish. Ray says define alien. He's asking Matt. Graham says I'm totally against the government, not relying on them for anything. And Mowbray says yes. And Fifth Loco says my uncle got mad because now his daughter is pregnant and he wants me to step up with me in the kid's life. I think Fifth Loco is fake, phony. He might live off of the government, but I think his other stories are fake. But just for what is this saying? Just for the heck of it, I'm gonna leave him in this chat, y'all. Matt Turner says extraterrestrial. Extra ordinary, na 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 na. Like E.T. Well, I'm told that if I ever get around to reading the Book of Enoch, I will learn about aliens. But I have not made time for that. Fifth Loco says I have some nerve. That's because I follow Jesus Christ. I am bold and I am courageous and I will stand strong. Graham says there is always a way to earn some money. Put in the effort. Yep. That's what I was saying. Like YouTube is giving me some money. My DoorDashing gives me money. Of course, I have my job. What else? I am not living off the government, y'all. I wasn't raised that way. Matt Turner did the dab dance or something like that. I don't know what that means, Fifth Local, but okay. Hey, Lively Cuts, how's it going? How are you? Matt Turner says throw hands with her. Mo likes porgies and butterfish. I've never heard of that, Mo Breeze. But you live pretty close to the water. I don't. Graham says I fix what most can't. That gets me through. Amen to that, Graham. Mo Breeze is wondering about the Book of Enoch. Yeah, I need to read it. I have it. And I don't know why I'm not reading it. I need to. Maybe I will read it on every Sunday. Maybe I'll do that for myself. The Fifth Loco has a fist pump and a firecracker. Lively Cuts is still feeling a little sick. Oh, yes. So how many days have you had this, Lively Cuts? The Fifth Loco, I've never ever been in a physical fight. But I've been following Jesus Christ since I was 9. And Jesus Christ fights my battles for me. I don't have to. And it's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. Mowbray says it's different. The Fifth Loco says my new velvet do-rags come in. How did you buy them if you live off of EBT? Mowbray says Enoch's seen the top and the bottom. When you read it, it makes your mind wonder. Okay, I need to get to reading it. How old are you, Fifth Loco? And is that your real picture? I'm just curious. Mowbray says selling this is the house of God. "48 years old. Wow." Flour with chicken. Yeah, I use flour for my flour tortillas that I make for my son. Livy says I got food poisoning Tuesday night. Wednesday I was throwing up and all day, and today a fever. Okay, so it's making its way through Lively Cuts. Graham says, I kicked someone in the stomach yesterday for knocking my baseball cap off my head. I'm always slaying demons. Oh my goodness. Why did they knock your hat off, I wonder, Graham? It's rough. The fifth local says, I'm putting new 28-inch rims on my 92 Cadillac. Oh my goodness. You're still living like you're a teenager, it sounds like. He's stuck in the 90s. Oh my goodness. Oh, he was a foreign person. He says, don't you know rims come with cars now? And the fifth local says the goal of the hood is to never make it out the hood. What is Clash saying? Well, I never was in the hood. Thank you, Lord, that my parents didn't put me in the hood. We weren't exactly, we struggled, but thankfully they did not have us in the hood. Mowbray said he made it by the grace of God. Amen. Back when I was growing up, the hood was called the projects. And they lived, this is not funny, but they lived in a neighborhood and it was only for people who couldn't afford anything else, I guess. And they had it here in my current city, and I know where the projects were where I used in another city. Everybody, every day growing up, I had to fight. This is where I lived in the projects. Oh, so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And it was like, my parents always said, don't go near there. That's trouble. So we never, well, I never went over there. Graham says, been seeing any reports about what's happening here in England. It is, I have not, Graham. Do you mind updating if you can? I'm trying to keep up with the news, but at the same time, I'm weaning myself away from that because I was spending a lot of time watching the news. Clash says, you look like my English teacher. Mowbray says, we had 12 floors in the building. I imagine every project looked different. Here, they were houses that all had the same floor plan. They were individual houses. The fifth local says, my cousin quit her 6-figure job and moved out of a gated community just to come live in the hood with me. Food stamps and EBT drew her in. The thrill of not knowing if you're going to see tomorrow. Mowbray says, look me up. Stella Wright Projects. Hey, Robert. How's it going? Stella Wright. Oh my. That actually looks kind of scary. Just looking at the picture. I don't know why. It just kind of gives me weird feeling. Yep, it says New Jersey. I'm glad you're doing good, Robert. Lively says, I hate taking off from work unless I absolutely have to. And this is one of those times. I don't know about anyone else, but I feel guilty when I take time off. I don't know if that's the same thing you're feeling, Lively, but yeah, when you got to, you got to. Yes, I do see it, Mo Breeze. Are they still livable where you used to live at, Mo Breeze? Robert says, work smarter, not harder. Amen. That's what I tell my son all the time. Graham said, did you get that message? I did not, Graham. No. Okay, I will say this. I remember President Trump was somewhere and he told another country, which I don't remember which one specifically, he's like, you guys need to get your that immigration under control because he's like, it's not good. I don't know if he was talking about England. Mowbray says, I don't sometimes get, I get tired. Lively cuts. Of course you're the best worker. That's why you're here. You connected here. Only the best are here. I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. The fifth logo says they say mo money, mo problems. That's why I stay broke. You know what? There is truth to that because the more money you make, the more responsibility there is. The more money you make, the more you want to spend it. And I've always lived below my means, no matter how much money I made. But for some people, they want to, what is it called? Keep up with the Joneses. Is that the right way to say that? So they want to have a new car, the biggest house, a new house. Um, you know what I mean? And so yeah, it's more money, more problems. Oh, they're already torn down. So those were old pictures I was looking at. Robert says, while you're working on a project in the natural, you're thinking of another project you want to work on in your brain. Graham says, please look into it. I can't say too much. Okay, I will, Graham. Let me do the search now so I can read it later. Okay, I got it saved, so I will look into it. Well, let me see what I read. It says tensions in England. There's protests outside of hotels. Mm. I am so thankful that we have President Trump who said, nope, we are not going to pay for housing for these illegal immigrants. He stopped the funding, and Democrats are crying about it, but we the people do not want to support someone who is here illegally. Robert says, if you're passionate about what you love to do, it won't always be about the money. I will say this. I really enjoyed my last job. It was like my dream job. Close to being my dream job. But the location, the people, you know, nothing's perfect. And unfortunately, I cannot control everything. So I was better off not working there anymore. Graham says we are losing homes and unable to feed families whilst the dingy drivers get put in five-star hotels, driving lessons, dental care, phones, clothes. That's what was happening here in the U.S., Graham, before President Trump. I would see it on the news all the time. Fifth Loco, you have a vocabulary that I do not understand. Mowbray says it'd be too many of them living in one apartment, like 15 people. When you were growing up, Mowbray's? Or are you talking about like right now? With the but there's a lot of work to do still here in the US. Robert says don't feel bad about it. If God has called you into something, it's best to walk in your calling. Yes, Robert, and I do my best to be obedient, to listen to God. There's times he's told me, it's time for you to move, or it's time for you to do this. And I'm like, Lord, are you sure about this? And I kind of put up a little, I have a conversation with him. I'm like, this happened, this happened, this happened. And you sure I'm supposed to do that? But I do my best to be obedient, and he has never steered me wrong. Graham says Muslims won't leave the kids alone, if you know what I mean. Oh my goodness. See, Graham, a lot of, I don't know how, but this week, I didn't even search it up, but Muslim stuff has been coming into my feed, but not them. It's, I guess, Muslims who have turned to Christianity. So I'm hearing their stories of how they were raised, what they were told to think, how it's very, yeah. Oh, right now, the Fifth Loco says, I'm currently watching this YouTube live while simultaneously preparing an empty cigar shell. Wow. There's no smoking. This is a drug-free live. There's no smoking. There's no drinking. This is a Christian live chat. Robert says, trust the GPS. What is that, Robert? I'm glad, Graham, that you guys are rising up. It's going... Yeah, there's that saying that it always gets worse before it gets better. Graham says, okay, Mowbray's is telling Loco to chill out. Graham says, well, their prophet did marry a 6-year-old. And they tried to say that someone in the Christian Bible did the same. It's like, no, they married when someone was of, it was young. Okay, in the Bible days it was young, but the point was to populate. And they were getting married when they were of childbearing age. John says, okay, John, we don't need you here either. How do I do this? John, you're not running anything but yourself. Y'all need Jesus, okay? You heard it here. Robert says GPS stands for Global Positioning System. Christians, GPS stands for God's Positioning System. Okay. I never heard of that, but thank you for sharing that, Robert. Nothing compares. Graham says, I can't stand them, and many others are getting fed up too, though the government is totally on their side. I don't see the point. I really don't see the point. But of course, the people who are making these decisions probably live in well gated, secured communities where they won't have an interaction with these illegal immigrants. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna take this down. Robert says, if you want God to give you something, you've got to make preparation. What preparation, Robert? Okay, Graham, remember, I need to buy the maintenance guy. You said a box of chocolates, but I think I'm going to end up buying him. Since tomorrow is Friday, I think I might bring him breakfast because he's struggling. He's like, he said he has to struggle until our first paycheck. But I told him how I was trying to unlock that door, bef- and I prayed to the Lord. I said, Lord, please help me. And then all of a sudden, he knocked on the door, the maintenance guy, and he came in quickly and unlocked the door for me. And I'm so glad he is a man of faith also. So we have some good talks. Well, we've had a few small talk about that. Graham says, I know what's going on though. It's a bit much for saying here. Ooh. Graham, not I don't know if you'd ever be interested, but I wonder if you could email me because I want to know. Robert says, positioning yourself to receive the blessings of God. Yes. I see what you're saying. Yes, because God is not going to, He will help you to an extent, but He won't give you an abundance until He's like, this is a good steward of money. She's a good manager of what she does have. So you're right. You got to be positioned. AW. He is, I don't know if, why I don't like the word Hispanic, but he is American Mexican. He speaks Spanish. He speaks perfect English. He says he's going through divorce. So, yeah. But he's not my type at all, y'all. Robert says uncommon faith is the unseen evidence that goes beyond the normal. Mowbray says nope, not. AW, I get along with most people. I can have great conversations with most everyone. Well, okay. I don't have good conversations with people who are ignorant, like really ignorant. I don't have good conversations with people who are on drugs. I don't have good conversations with alcoholics. Okay, do you guys get the picture? Or do I need to say more? Okay, Mowbray says he's an ex for a reason. Yeah, when he interviewed, he told me that he was going through a divorce. He has a daughter that would be staying over. He's like, is that okay if she stays with me? And I'm like, yeah, that's your place. So, yeah. I'm not gonna get into the details of his. I haven't asked him like, why are you getting divorced? We're not having conversations like that. It's just conversations about work, like how to communicate with all the tenants. And I was telling him that I pray before I have to have a conversation with the tenant. Graham says, big difference between believing and knowing. You know what happens to the lukewarm, don't you? There is a difference. There's a lot of people who say they believe in Jesus Christ, but they're not following him, so they don't know him. If you're not following Jesus Christ, then you don't know him. Would that be correct for me to say? Robert says, I can have a great conversation with anybody. It just depends on the situation, the circumstance. If I want to have conversations with people I normally don't have conversations with. Okay, Graham understands. AW says, is it because, or he said yes. Is it because you don't want to date someone at work? I understand, but you said you prayed, then he opened the door. Oh, okay. I don't believe in dating someone that I work with. I've never done that. But I prayed for someone to unlock, like physically unlock a door, my office door. God answered my prayer by sending him in the right moment, the right time. He came to pick up an application, okay? So he unlocked the door for me. And I finally went and changed out the locks myself because there was no key to be found for those doors. So now I've got a key that works. Lively says, don't date where you work. It never ends well. I almost did. It was my very first full-time job. I worked at a prison. You guys, if you want drama, go work at a prison. I didn't date anyone, but I got a lot of pressure about going out with them after work to the bar. They would do that, like, definitely on paydays, but it seemed like they did that a lot. I would get a lot of questions about, hey, what were they saying? You were standing right by them. Like, what was the conversation? I'm like, okay, I'm not listening to their conversation. I'm working. And even if I heard their conversation, I'm not going to tell you because I don't gossip. It was a whole new world for my first full-time job. AW says the office door was a metaphor for locked heart. Oh no, AW, it was not. It was not. Robert says he does not like drama. And Graham says he will try again. Yes, that's why I did not last very long at that job. I was working in the office handling the inmate money, all the money that they brought in, all their money that went out. So I wasn't like, but there was still drama because the officers would come through. They would always pass my area. And then everyone was just gossiping, y'all. Married people were messing around with each other, and it was crazy. I was like, I couldn't be there. I don't know if it's still like that. This was a long time ago. Graham says work will be hell when having to work with an ex. Robert says some people are a blessing in your life, some people are a lesson for your life. Yes, I personally try to find something good out of every encounter, not every encounter, but you guys know something that is, for instance, I have to encounter every tenant every month. Sometimes they have something good to share with me. Sometimes I'm sharing something good with them, like Jesus Christ. Or teaching them, hey, let me think of something. For instance, there was this lady, she's the first person I terminated. And she's like, I don't know what all the rules were in the lease agreement and blah, blah, blah. I said, well, it's your responsibility, no matter if it's going to be, if you stay here, well, you're not going to stay here. But I was like, the next place you go to, it is your responsibility to read up on the whole entire lease agreement, your house rules, whatever the paperwork is. You need to know, or else you're going to possibly be in this situation again. So that was the lesson I felt like I taught her. I also would call her out when she was lying. So maybe she'll think twice about lying. I don't know. You know, everybody has their moment. AW says, I hear a lot of officers sleeping with inmates on TV. I do think that happens a lot with the women officers, which is why I don't think women should be officers, especially at a all-male facility. First of all, an inmate who is a male is going to overpower the lady. And women are just, we're emotional beings. So, yeah. It's happened. I know people who have done that because there's a lot of inmates, a lot of prisons around here. So, that's a huge what is it called? It's a huge percentage of the job force. And Graham says, and the screws smuggle things in for the inmates. Yep, that happens too. AW says, won't push it, but the way you talk about the maintenance guy, he seems like a good, honest guy with the same background as you. Okay. I have there's a lot of things I don't necessarily tell you guys about these people because it's not important for you guys. It's important for me to know, but not you. And so, yeah, from the get-go, I just knew I wasn't attracted. Okay, there was about 10 people that came in for the maintenance job in person to either get the application or they had already gone through the process online, and so they were coming to interview with me. Out of all 10 of them, there was not a single one I felt an attraction towards. I don't know. I think my discernment, the older I get, is better and better, and none of them seemed like a good match for me. Omar Z. I'm using my hands a lot today, huh? How are you doing, Omar? Robert says the only way to tell whether a person is lying or telling the truth is to look them in the eyes. And Jack says, what are you doing? I'm here. Being distracted by y'all. Graham says, whatever happened to opposites attract, everyone looking for someone to match with them. I tried the opposites attract and it didn't work out for me, Graham. Anybody else? Has opposites worked for you? Robert says they say the older you get, the more wiser you become. Yeah. Good night, Mo Breeze. Thanks for being here. Peace to you too. Oh, I forgot. My son doesn't have school tomorrow. He has his special school, but not regular school. So he gets to sleep in a little bit later. Okay, Matt says, I'm going to give you the opposite side of my hand to your jaw. AW says, have you talked about the tariffs yet? Have you saved up? AW, Lord always provides for me. It doesn't matter who is the leader, who's the president. It doesn't matter what's going on. The Lord always provides. Graham says, even fools get old. But do they wise up? I don't know. Omar Z says, one of my ex-girlfriend was a correction officer. Oh, I think you mentioned that before, Omar. Robert says, I'd rather be around people that's going to tell me what I need to hear and not what I want to hear. Amen to that, Robert. Omar Z says, I wish I had a summer vacation. Well, didn't you kind of have time off for your foot to heal? Matt Turner, are you really in jail and able to watch this? I keep forgetting to ask to send a message to someone I know in prison to ask them if they get YouTube. Oh, I thought you had a tablet because I heard that inmates get to have a tablet. Graham says no, so many fools around. Just look how they behaved during this pandemic. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay, so the tariffs. Okay, I'm not a consumer. What is that word? I don't buy a lot of things to begin with. So I'm not too worried about the tariffs. Omar Z says some old people are stupid as a box of rocks. 2 days off. You only had 2 days off, Omar? Graham says it's worrying how daft people are. It is. Nope, Matt, I will not. Don't you have a job where you can make money in there? I mean, you should, because I worked at a prison, so I know they pay the inmates if they have a job. Graham says it makes me wonder how people have lived so long. They know how to survive somehow. Matt says, Omar, you couldn't start a rock fight in a gravel pit. Omar Z says, yeah. Matt says they pay 25 cents an hour. Yep, there you go. Robert says, let God guide your choices. I think it depends on your skill. I remember some people, some inmates were getting $1. They were like the higher skilled level jobs. Robert says, let God guide your choices. Omar Z says 35 cents an hour. Yeah, it just depended on the job they had. Well, you got what you need, Matt. They have a place for you to, you got a roof over your head. You got clothes to wear that are clean. You've got a place to shower. They give you food. You don't need anything else. AW says not to hawk on the terrorists, but NBC News says it will add $2,400 expense to the average family. That is very significant. It will hurt Dems and Repubs. Yeah, it could be expensive to someone who can't afford it already. But the Lord has always provided for me, so I'm not worried. And I don't know if you know me, AW, but I grew up with two parents who were married, and they struggled to raise me and my two siblings. Neither of my parents had a high school education, not a high school, uh, like any college degrees. So for what I did for myself is I saw them struggle, and I was like, I'm going to get me some college degrees. And I went to college until I earned my master's degree, and I've always had good paying jobs. And so I'm a single parent, and I've always been able to provide for me and my son, and I've always had a nice home, a nice car or two. But if it comes down to it, I will sell one of my other second car. I know how to buckle down to get through, but still live nice because I'm used to living good now. But I did all of that with God helping me through. Like, I always went to Him, had my talks with Him. I'm like, what should I do? And He always showed me the way. Graham says Matt's gonna have to sell his body. Omar Z says I throw my loose change on the floor. Omar, what are you talking about? Throwing your loose change. Matt says he needs some honey buns. Well, even if you were out here, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Robert says God knows what's best for you, and He's looking out for your best interest. And Matt wants to know if he can live with me. Nope, I don't take any strangers. Robert says you're doing a good job of being a single parent. Thank you, Robert. And Graham says I agree. I grew up with narcissistic parents always trying to break me, and I didn't let them. Now I'm strong. Amen, Graham. I love your story. Omar Z, Omar, you are not going to show me the way. Nope, you're not. Robert says narcissists don't like it when you break free from them and you take your power back. I'm trying to remember when I first started hearing about narcissists. And I think it was about 10 years ago when that word came into my vocabulary. Omar, Matt wants your help. Graham says, Robert, yes, they are control freaks. AW says, did he ask to live with you? Yes, he did. I won't even rent out my room, extra rooms, because I don't want strangers in here. And I want it to be safe for me and my son. So I've never, ever had roommates. I am not, I'm very protective of my child. I always have been. But I have been letting him experience life and preparing him as best as I can so that when he goes out into the real world, he's ready. Matt says, I feel like we are closer than ever now. Boo, why don't you ever join in the conversation? Omar Z says you will find it if you get AI. Robert says sometimes a small circle is a favor. What does that mean, Robert? Graham says had to entertain and care for myself a lot. Oh well, at least it made me need No one but myself. You guys, I don't know why I am the way I am. Because I grew up very different than how I live my life now. Sometimes I think it's because I didn't have a sister. So I don't really like to share things. I don't know. I try to figure myself out sometimes. Hey Sanjeet, I'm doing good. How are you? Welcome to my live stream. AW says, I don't do roommates either. I don't believe in shacking up, but if I had a kid with a woman, then I might consider it. Awesome. Omar Z says, yeah, my ex-roommate friend stole my guitar. Wait a minute. You're talking about right now? Omar, your guitar is gone? Your guitar that you always talk about, your guitar that you sent me a picture of. I'm really sorry about that. Sanjeet says, today you're looking very beautiful. Sanjeet, I look beautiful every day. What are you talking about? Robert says, small. He deleted it. AW says, but the ideal is to have kids with my wife. Yes, AW. Amen. Graham says, my dad once said to me that I was born to be abused. Oh my goodness. But your dad's the one that took you to the karate classes and stuff, right? You know, I hear about stories like what you're just saying, Graham, through movie shows. It's hard. Well, no. Sometimes I hear that going on where I'm working at right now, or even at the store in passing. It's really sad. It is really sad. Omar Z says, yeah, I didn't have a sister either. Oh, you still have a guitar. Well, I'm saying for myself as a girl, I didn't have I didn't have to share anything with anyone. Um I mean, yes, I kind of shared certain things with my brothers, like I don't know, maybe we all shared our books or something. I just try to figure myself out. I do a lot of reflection. Robert says a small circle is when you have one or two people in your circle. Okay, now let me go back to what you said because I need to make it make sense. Sometimes a small circle is a favor. Okay, that makes sense. Matt says they are feeding me pigeon meat in jail. Good for you, Matt. Robert says you don't have to have everybody in your circle. And Omar Z says Chuck Norris is my uncle. Omar, are you being honest? Are you being honest? When I was in high school, I was very outgoing and I was friends with a lot of people. But then after high school, I just became kind of like a hermit. Because I was so focused on, I had goals and a lot of things I wanted to achieve. So I think I just became a hermit because I was doing my own thing. I am selfish, Matt. I will admit that. Graham says, so I'd get beaten up. Yes, though I was the one doing the beating up. AW says, didn't you have a big protective brothers? Didn't I have... Um, one of my brothers was very protective and very respectful with me. My younger brother, he used to um he used to try to get sassy with me, and he's just a different. I don't know. He just had a totally different mindset. But I would have to put him in his place. Omar Z says, "Does a rabbit eat carrots?" Yes, I think. Graham says, "After having objects broken over your head on a regular basis, a punch from a stranger feels like nothing. I actually used to laugh at people when I was hit as a kid. Very strange." Ugh. You know what? I feel like I understand that, Graham, even though I didn't go through that, but thank you for sharing. Yes, I had my dinner. I sure did. And that's why I'm sitting here, so I won't do any snacking. Omar Z says sometimes it's better to plant some vegetables and watch them grow up. You'll feel accomplished. Yeah, that is an accomplishment. Accomplishments can be big, small, short term, long term. Okay, I'm good with time. I'm just so thankful for the moment I'm in right now. The what is like the chapter of my life right now. I never thought I would be working a part-time job as a single mom and being able to support my child. So many things I never imagined, and they still happen. I mean, I'm still being surprised by God's work. He always surprises me. Graham says it's okay. It's made me strong. I won't be broken. Amen, Graham. Okay, I might. There is one topic, and it's probably highly sensitive, so I won't say the details. But I know some people who went through a certain thing and they're not strong. They're weak. They haven't overcome it. And I just, they need, everybody needs Jesus to get through. That's my opinion. How did you get through, Graham? I'm just curious. How did you overcome your childhood? AW says, did your brothers interrogate and intimidate boyfriends when you was young to make sure they was the right fit for you? See, my older brother was much older than me, so he really didn't get into my life too much because he was a young father. He married early and became a young father very early. So he was living his life by the time I started my dating. My younger brother, he would joke around with guys who were interested in me, but my younger brother was not making the best choices himself. Okay, so to judge to trust who he thought was a good person would have not been good for me. I don't know if I said that right. Uh, Sanjeet says, seeing you, I feel that you can share your emotions. I am so jealous that you are having a pure heart. God has blessed you, dear. Please pray for me. That is really nice of you, Sanjeet. I do pray for everyone every day, whether I know you or not. Omar Z says, I went to a Korean restaurant. The woman gave me 2 pounds of chicken with rice only. 7 Do you mean $7, Omar? Are you missing the decimal? Graham says just won't let them win. It's not been easy. You got this, Graham. Yep. Won't give anyone the satisfaction of breaking me. I like that. Okay, when you talk about that, there's two types of people. You're either going to give in to whatever your situation is, or you're going to use it to make you stronger. And I like to use situations to make me better, to make me stronger. I choose not to give in. I choose not to give up. Giving up is not an option, and that's how I have raised my son. Graham says won't give anyone the satisfaction of breaking me. And Graham says I'm stubborn and won't give evil people what they want. Amen. Zell is back. All right. Okay, $7. That was a good deal, wasn't it, Omar? That sounds like it was a really good deal. AW says, I understood you, but sometimes a wolf can easily recognize other wolves. You're right about that. Sheeps may get fooled. I'm talking about your brother vetting your boyfriends. My dad would also get involved. If he knew someone who was totally not for me, he made sure they knew that. No, my younger brother, never. I don't think he knew any good people. My older brother sometimes got involved, and sometimes he would get involved. He would, I'm not, you guys, I was a really good girl, okay? But sometimes I wanted to have fun, like other teenagers. I wanted to go out. I wanted to go to a party. I never wanted to drink. I never wanted to do drugs. I never wanted to smoke. I never wanted to have relations. I just wanted to go out and experience, and I couldn't go out. I couldn't go to parties. But I'm glad now that I didn't do that. Sanjeet says, life teaches us how to act in situations where God stands by you. If you trust me, his will is done. That is beauty of Christian faith, where God himself stands for you. Yes, that's what I was saying. He fights the battles for me. He shows me the way. He does it for me so I don't have to struggle. Now, sometimes he does put me through storms, but I believe it's all to give him the glory, because he knows in the end I'm going to be better for it. I'm going to be stronger for it, and I will testify. Omar Z says, if you feel depressed, watch Casper the Friendly Ghost. You've said that before, Omar. And Casper the Friendly Ghost is not going to get me out of depression. Graham says, just imagine hitting me as hard as you can and I just laugh at you. Gonna do your head in, isn't it? Yeah, because people, when someone is trying to aggravate you and you are unbothered, it makes them very upset. I've seen it myself. When people try to, I don't know, I guess put me down with words, it doesn't faze me. Depending on the situation, sometimes I do laugh, and sometimes I'm just like, okay, do you have anything else to say? Graham says, just imagine. Okay, I read that. Hello, Potter. You joined football. Cool. Yep, it is football season. Wait a minute. I need to look up the schedule of my football team. I hope I'm not missing anything. I need to ask my brother if I've missed any games. You got tackled today. Well, I hope you had pads on and you're okay. Graham says, yep, just laugh at them. It eats away at them. AW says, last question, who's your favorite NFL team? Is it the Arizona Cardinals? I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan since I was 15. And I ain't changing. Omar Z says, it's funny how things happen. My best friend was a gangbanger and now he is borderline preacher with all the things he's done. That is awesome, Omar. Are you guys still best friends now? Okay, that is I've never been to an NFL football game. That's on my bucket list. At least one time to go. Graham says they are looking for an emotional response from you to make themselves feel powerful. Don't give them the response they are looking for. They realize you are not an easy target and move on. Yes. I have a feeling, okay, I'm going to have to tell you guys what happens in a week, okay, because I want to share something, but it has to be, I have to wait. Omar says no, he moves. He moved, but he still talks to me sometimes. That's cool. AW says, have a good night. But a Cowboys fan, God bless your heart because they are going to suck. Thanks for hanging out, AW. Good night to you. Yeah, I believe Cowboys have a new coach. I don't know. I don't even know who's on the roster. Well, I guess it's preseason, so they're going to figure out who stays, right? Welcome, Furious. You just got home. Well, I'm glad you're home safe. I'm doing good. Omer says, but he did some bad things I can't talk about on here. Yep, I'm sure. But that's the cool thing about being a Christian is you will be forgiven as long as you wholeheartedly ask for forgiveness. We always get another chance. Graham says bread and circuses, you know I had to say it. You've said that before, Graham, but I don't know what that means. And I didn't even ask the other night. Do I like more baseball or football? Okay, to watch it on TV, I prefer to watch football. But to watch in person, I'm okay watching baseball. I don't know. I don't know if I would like baseball better than football in person. When Arizona first had their professional baseball team, the Arizona Diamondbacks, I was a fan, but um, I took to one of the players. What was his name? I already forgot his name. He was the only reason I was watching. And then once he was gone, I stopped watching the baseball games. What was his name? I can't remember. Fury says, by the way, did you watch the movie Conclave? You did suggest it, and I have not seen it. I will search for it. Thank you for reminding me, Furious. Graham says, Rome, give the peasants bread and circuses, and they shall not revolt. Oh, which is no. How would baseball has better food? Don't they have the same? Graham says my spelling is so bad tonight. You know what I really enjoyed, and I was surprised. I really enjoyed watching ice hockey. Is that what you call it? Yeah, I was very surprised that I enjoyed the ice hockey games that I went to. Oh, you guys, I need to find out when and where the race, like NASCAR, comes around, and I need to get tickets for me and my son. He said he would really like that. He always tells me that I never do what he likes, so I need to find these tickets. Graham says feed them and entertain them, and they shall not rise up. Okay, that has happened to some Americans here, and they're still acting crazy. So, I don't know about that, Graham. But I'm hoping even those people that are Americans are going to start changing, because in our own social media, it is being spoken about a lot more. It is being brought to the surface, and hopefully that starts to create the change. I don't know. I don't know how else they would fix that. Fury says, Graham, your profile picture is tiny, so I can't really see it. But as it is, I'm seeing a bald turtle with Biden's face, tilting it like a gangster. And my it's his bearded dragon, Draco. I probably asked you this before, Graham, but does Draco sleep at night or in the daytime? Omar Z says there actually is an unforgiven sin. It's called believing unto death, meaning that you reject God and worship the devil. A lot of those people are in government and entertainment. Yeah, I agree, Omar. Graham says Draco's beautiful. What? What? Hey, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Okay, Graham, I don't know if you've ever seen the Geico commercials. They have a gecko, okay? And then in the there's a movie called what is it called? It's not called Rapunzel, but it's based off of that character. What is it called? And she has a I think she also has a gecko. Can you imagine a show, a commercial, or a movie with a bearded dragon as the main animal character? or does that already exist? What was that movie called? Rapunzel. Rapunzel movie. Oh, it's called Tangled. His bedtime is 8 at the moment, and I kiss and cuddle him about 10 minutes before his lights go off, and he falls asleep. Fury says, I had a chameleon. It died while shaped like a coat hanger. It kind of comforted us because we laughed a lot. Okay, the chameleon is what was on that show Tangled. Because a chameleon changes colors, right? It like camouflages. But it was shaped like a coat hanger. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that is too crazy. Yeah, I think I would be laughing too. I I think I told you guys that my son had a turtle. It was like the size of when we first got the turtle, it was like this size. And then of course it grew a little, but not too much. And that poor turtle, he died stretched out like he was trying to get out of his he was trying to get out of his cage. Graham says he really is lovely, never shown any sign of aggression. Does he have teeth? I've never gotten close to a bearded dragon. Let me pull that up now. Bearded dragon. Oh no. I'm sorry, Graham, but I would probably scream if I had seen one. If I see one. Oh my goodness. I'm almost thinking that big lizard I told you was in my backyard on the wall. It almost looked like a bearded dragon. I'm just getting the creeps. Looking at him, I gotta stop. Um, Omar says my mom's cat is crazy. I was soaking my feet in salt water and vinegar. I wasn't looking at the cat, and the cat started licking my bowl. Oh my goodness. Omar, what did you do? What did you say? Fury says, yeah, when it died, it stiffened up, and its position was literally the shape of a hanger. We couldn't, we could have used it if it hadn't been so small. Graham says, yes, very sharp little teeth. Oh no. I believe one of the YouTubers I watch, she did get a bearded dragon for her son. And she says every time she goes to clean her son's room, because he's like, I don't know, he's about 6 years old. So she said every time she goes in her son's room when she's cleaning, she says the bearded dragon is very attentive to her. Like, he pays attention to everything she's doing. She did say she never thought she would touch it, but she does. That wouldn't be me though. I already know. Graham says, I thought he died in the bath once. I was howling like a wolf, though luckily he was okay. Oh my goodness. Fury says, now I have 2 turtles, 2 rabbits, 2 dogs, and a horse called Boston. Oh wow. Well, now you need another horse. What kind of dogs do you have, Furious? I'm having fun with my glitter pillow. I don't know what I'm doing there. I got the horse for free. I have a Bichon Shih Tzu and a Bichon that thinks it's a bully. I need to pull that up because I don't know what they look like. Bichon. Oh, that's a cute, fluffy dog. And now the other dog is Shih Tzu. I think I know what they look like. Oh, so you've got 2 little dogs. Cute. Is Casanova here? Graham says he swallowed some bath water. He also threw up after drinking too much water recently, and that scared me. Got to be really careful with them and water. Oh, wow. Omar says, I believe that animals can be possessed by sports. Good or bad, pray for your animals. By spirits, Omar, I think meant to put that animals can be possessed by spirits. Hey, Casanova, I knew that was you. How are you doing, Casanova? Furious says the Bichon is the killer one. And it looks like it wouldn't hurt anybody. Graham says Draco is daft, though. He'd jump off a cliff if I wasn't there to stop him. Casanova, what's going on? I have not heard from you. I know you came in a few times just to say hello. What is that, Casanova? I must know. Today is Friday Eve, y'all. I am happy. Graham says I even have to hand feed him. He's worth the trouble. Casanova says, I meant to say I've been outdated and I've been texting the field. Testing? You've been out dating. and testing the field. Okay. What is a lot of crazy women out there, so I'd just rather stay to myself. Casanova, don't give up. That's where you've been then. Omar Z says, you remember what happened to the pigs in the Bible? Yes, the ones, they had the evil spirits in them, but it was done purposely, and then they went off the cliff. Casanova says, you know, a lot of women say that I'm stuck up. Really, Casanova? So you're playing hard to get. But you have to. You can't just, you're not for everyone. Graham says, pampered lizard. Yes, he is. That's what I was going to say, Graham. You have him that way. That's why he won't eat unless you feed him. Casanova says, yeah, they don't understand. I run a program. I have my own beliefs. I believe in my own beliefs, and I'm going to run my program the way I want to run it. And if you don't understand, well, you got to go on. Yes, I agree. This is what I say. The right guy for me is going to fit right in. It's going to be easy. It's not going to be difficult. I'm not going to change to make it work. Kind of what, maybe that's what you're saying, Casanova. Casanova, did you finally get the, like the Ring doorbell type device? Graham says, yes, made a rod for my own back with Draco. I love the way he is. Casanova's doing the emojis on the right. The flying emojis. Omar Z says, if you invite a woman to your house to watch 3 Batman movies, you will lose every time. What? Can you please explain that one, Omar? I do like watching, I do like Batman. Casanova says, yeah, they want you to change for their benefit. I keep changing, modifying my profile just a little bit on my dating app to see if I will attract someone. I don't know that that's the problem. There's just no one on the app right now that I'm attracted to. Graham says, was that supposed to be a joke? I don't know. Omar Z, please explain about 3 Batman movies. Casanova says, this is how you met me. This is how I come. Take it or leave it. Yep. Yes, you have not been here, Casanova. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, you did get that doorbell thing. Caro, I've not seen you in a while. Carol, do I say your name right? Do I pronunciate it correctly? You've been thinking about me? Okay, Carol. Here I am. Here I am. It's short for your real name. But do I say it correctly? Omar Z says, I think the best thing is if you can find someone to laugh with and have a good time. That is important, Omar Z. I will agree. Graham says, if they try to change you, then they really don't like you for who you was in the first place. Move on. Yep. Okay, let me say something. I do think there are some experiences that happen when you're in a relationship. Like, say it's going good, and then you go through an experience and you're not okay with how the other person managed the experience. I think that's a really good reason to be like, hey, like, is this how you're always going to react? I don't know. I don't even know why I said that, but because maybe everything was going good and great, but then you have this experience that does change things up. Carol says no. I'm not saying it right. Casanova says that's a good thing. Just keep up with yourself and elevating yourself. It will come in due time. Mm-hmm. Casanova, you have missed. I'm going back to college. The first day is coming up in about 2 weeks, I think. While I'm waiting for my future husband, I might as well keep learning and bettering myself in every single aspect. Graham says, build each other up, not try to change each other. Yes. Yep. Fury says, I sent you more photos with the dog. Oh, yes, because you hadn't sent me a picture of your dog. All right. I don't have my laptop close by. I will take a look, Furious. Okay, today we have not had a single female join the live stream. It's okay. But I think that's too funny. I have not checked my email, Furious. Graham says, cute, you have a dog. Well, I have a baby dinosaur. Omar Z says, my only problem is if you're snoring and then wake Ursula up and blame me for it. Or when I go off to work, you want me to do work for you. Oh my goodness. Okay, I know that Furious is married. But for everyone else on here, have you ever been engaged? Have you ever proposed? Is that a sensitive subject? Omar says no. Graham says ever pinched someone's nose while they are snoring. It is hilarious. No, I'm not gonna do that. You did 3 times, Graham? Wow. Anyone else? Have you ever proposed? Have you been engaged? Fury says, I've got your little mischievous smile. You don't even do it on purpose, but you're so beautiful when you do that. Furious. Oh my goodness. Omar Z says, wow. Good idea. Omar, no. Do not do that. Don't do that to your person. Graham says, big softy. Me really. What time is it? Okay, y'all. I think I want to end here. It's been fun chatting with you all. Oh, it's that time for you, Furious? I don't know what time that is. But it's 8:30 for me. I need to go because I want to start doing my nighttime routine. Or maybe do I want to stay up a little bit later? Logan is tired. Have a good night. Thank you. Graham says, could never get married now. I know too much. Aw. I think the right woman is going to change your mind, Graham. Yeah, I think I should go. I'll play Sims. I remember that game. All right, y'all. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed night, day, whatever time it is. Thanks for hanging out with me. I send y'all peace and know that Jesus Christ loves you the most. I'll see you guys next time.